All right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. A fair share, a bit of information to dive into today regarding some pro players giving EA some backlash as another esport has decided to really take care of their competitive scene. And obviously us Apex players over here extremely jealous and even zealous at this point of what these guys and the treatment that they are getting over there and the treatment that we deserve over here as well. So all things considered, a lot to discuss. ALGS scrims drama, even some I told you guys the other day that Nickmercs had used me in his hype video of kind of like, throwing some shade at their team. They're not doing so well. On the flip side, I got to give some praise where praise is due, because I saw a clip that I'm very happy about as well, and I know Albralelie is not too happy about either. So plenty to dive into and discuss. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends esports related. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this. So the first thing I wanted to mention here, this was coming from Monsoon, a professional player for Complexity. Now, what really baffled me about this is you guys probably, watch ALGS Split 1 playoffs. Monsoon was on the desk, right? He was doing some analytics, as well, and talking with the casters about, analytical data. This team does this team likes to do that. This team does a really good job at doing that. And so it's kind of interesting because normally those type of people that make it up on the main stage don't go back to Twitter and complain if complaining is needed. Like, if there's something that needs to be talked about or needs to be addressed, they're not the ones to do it, because normally EA would be like, no, don't invite this guy on the main stage. We don't want him complaining about Apex, or we don't want people to go follow him on Twitter and just see a bunch of complaining. And that's not the normal for Monsoon. So if he takes it this far to Twitter, then it's definitely serious. So he tweeted this yesterday saying the bugs in Apex right now are absolutely unreal, especially since we're playing Pro League. No audio on grenades, no audio on bang ult, no audio on shots, no tracers or feedback for being shot, and my 30-30 doesn't shoot half the time. But what about that competitive integrity? The 30-30 is actually funny because maybe it's been going on longer than, I'm not trying to take credit for noticing anything, but about like 3 weeks ago, a month ago maybe, I had the problem where my gun would not shoot, and I was like, no, nobody's believing me. Like, no, it's not shooting. Like, it's not even the hip fire thing. I was ADS pointing at a guy, it was charged up, it was ready to go, full ammo, and it would not shoot for some reason. And then now a couple weeks later, people started to notice it. Now everybody seems to be having the problem. So many bugs that have been going on. And even Hill was saying, it's kind of insane. We are playing in Pro League with all of this stuff going on at once, and it seems like it always goes back to bad audio, really. And then even his Watson saying, it's really bad when Monsoon has posted the PvP tweets, and even Lion said it's bad because it's really true. So this is something that Apex has really got to get under control. And it's kind of weird, they go through these stages of replying and giving a lot of community feedback and then not replying at all. I have not seen Respawn developers really speaking out lately about a lot of this stuff going on. I guess they just do it in waves, or maybe they just decide when they want to help. So I don't really know what's going on, or if there's an update to all of this, or we hear you, we're working on it, but it just doesn't seem like there's been much going on, and definitely a little unfortunate. But that's not the only thing, because Madness also pointed this out on Twitter literally last night. 50% of the proceeds, they said, from the respective team brand, it goes directly to the team. That was a quote from Rainbow Six Esports, where I do got to point this out before we get into this and start talking about how amazing R6 is that they've done this. The game has been out for a while, and I don't really know much about it. I don't really know if the fans are like as excited as the Apex fans are, because I wonder, with as long as that game has been out, have they been complaining for this for quite some time? And then like however long this game's been out, 10 years or so, like 5 years, 6 years, however long it's been, finally they're getting it. Is it a situation like that where it's like, yeah, we got it, but bro, it took us forever? Or is this like another W that they constantly get? I don't keep up with that scene too much, so I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, needless to say, Apex doesn't have it and R6 has it. So Apex Legends could never, is what Madness said. And even staynaughtyy says, EA, wow, that's a fair system, so org brands can help you guys sell items in game whilst both parties make a profit, and Apex can just recolor skins that were already made for minimal effort. Holy crap, applying for a job to EA pitched this idea. Madness also saying, I've been told that the org owners that their Challenger Circuit Tier 2 team grosses more than $60K a year from revenue share, which is all Respawn even offers for the biggest orgs out there. So if you guys remember that whole debacle not long ago where TSM and NRG, all these big teams that were in Pro League and whatnot, where they were trying to get some team skins, but EA didn't want to give them a percentage. You can see right here, Rainbow Six is giving them 50% of all the revenue share. So that's a good partnership. Obviously, the orgs are going to profit. The game's going to profit. And so it's really nice. The problem is EA says, yes, I could profit, but if I don't help you, I could profit even more. So that's just kind of their mindset, unfortunately. So I really wish they would change this, because obviously this would be huge. Both, you know, everybody, you know, kind of partnering up here would be a win-win for both sides. And it also increases sales, because these guys are going to have a reason to really want to throw the sales and pitch the sales. So just something that's definitely worth noting. But whenever they decided to do the revenue split, instead of doing that, EA just wanted to pay 60K flat, and that was it. So obviously these orgs are not going to get behind that. It's not that good of a deal for them in the end, and I don't blame them either. Now, I also wanted to make mention of this. This actually made me pretty happy. So I told you guys the other day that I was in that hype video for, you know, Nickmercs. They had used one of my audio clips from one of my videos saying that tripods wasn't doing too good, and they got to fix this. They got to work this out, because it's been really, really bad. And so they had actually used that, and, you know, Nick was like, you know, it's nothing but birds chirping, and, you know, they're going to come back, they're going to win, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, I do got to give some props. In ALGS scrims last night, Albralelie, which I guess considered the tripods free KP in their scrims, basically got railed by them. And, you know, I will say there was a no reg that was involved at some point. You know, Albralelie says that they would have won if that didn't happen. Of course, hindsight, it's always 2020. However, it is worth noting that I think that LANIMALS should have definitely won this fight, and there's no excuse for not winning this fight. They had every advantage in the world. They were piecing them up, and they just made one bad play, and tripods really capitalized on it. And it kind of got pretty funny. Just the thought of, you know, a team that really should have won this, I guess, was kind of downing tripods as well as a lot of other people. Tripods able to come out on top. It was a very interesting situation. Roll the clip.
Can we put a gen down?
No, I don't have it yet. 1%.
I have no scans anyway. On our backside, on our backside.
Yeah, they're outside.
On the door, I think.
Okay.
Load bin.
Like I said, they're at like in front of armory.
Almost back to
I can smoke in front of us to walk in. We can wall right. Like.
yeah, and I can wall, yeah. You want to wall right? I was going to wall for the blue
It
bin.
doesn't matter. I'll just smoke our front.
From here, man. There's gonna be so many teams around rotating this side. They gotta go fast. Nice. Wall comes out. Seer ulti does come out too. Nice.
Nico, let's behave.
Back up, boy. Oh god.
Toss and Seer down.
They're catwalking in. Yeah, they're just gonna do 3 shit.
Yo, this is lit.
I had to take the catwalk.
I'm burning them. I'm burning two.
22 on one. I'm in a cell. Watch the swing. Watch the swing. I'm in a cell. Watch the swing. Watch the swing.
Yep.
Ready to hold these. Good cue. Oh, they went left.
I had to blue. I had to bat.
We're good.
32 blue on one.
Pushing. 1 HQ1. I'm pushing.
40.
No. 52. 2 dead. 30 on the other.
88 on one.
I hit that.
The other one's full shield.
My left.
37. I had to blue. I had to bat.
40.
Pushing up. 52.
50.
2 dead. 30 on the other.
88 on one.
I hit that. Blue.
Run. They're so weak. You guys win this.
No reg.
Quick. He's not healthy.
I had to blue. I had to bat. No.
Nice shots by Nick.
2 dead.
Nice. Seer goes down. Nice shots again by Nick.
The other one's full shield. Thank you, knock. You push it too. He's trying to push. You can win this. He's reloading. Nice. Good shit, Nick.
Left. Oh, man.
Bro, bro, what is this?
If I don't know reg that shot, I just win, man. I mean, we just lost that fight to bullshit.
Holy shit.
Land eliminated. Oh my Nick.
So definitely some interesting stuff. I can't wait to see Pro League come back, man. Honestly, I'm just really, you know, at the end of the day, I understand, you know, it is tripods. Yes, Nickmercs has been in the controversies of playing too much Warzone, whatever, but he's always an underdog, and I can't help but root for the underdog. He also is, he's like the Doug Sensor Martin of Apex Legends. I mean, you can't help but just love someone or support for someone who believes in themselves that much, despite what everybody else thinks. Even though everybody's down on him, he's never stopped believing in himself, and that's definitely respectable nonetheless. But that's not the only thing that the tripods were in the news for in today's video. Also, there was a Twitch clip of the tripods discussing a vote that was going on in the pro Discord, because Minus Tempo, the player manager for TSM, who's running these things a lot, apparently they wanted to ask if teams would be willing to pay $1,800 a month just to participate in scrims. unbelievable. The most EA thing I had ever heard of, and it's so like, oh, it's just gut-wrenching. It was like so nasty to even think that they were considering that, and it kind of makes me feel a little bit differently about them as well. But yeah, I really hate that that was even in question, and I really wish that that wouldn't have even came up, because I don't even know what the benefit here is. And like you'll see in the video, who can pay that? Maybe 3 teams are willing to pay that, if anything. And what's the trade-off? You know, I think they're trying to make the scrims mean a little bit more, so that I guess teams actually take it that much more serious, because we've seen LANIMALS do really good in scrims, but not so good in Pro League. Is there any differences that are going on? And so definitely something that I wanted to show you guys. Roll the clip.
Wait, did you see the vote? So would your team be willing to pay $1,800 a month for scrims?
How much a month?
$1,800 a month.
Oh, bro, like 3 teams can do that. What the?
Actually.
So 600 a piece? Who would do that?
No one.
I mean, they're just trying to spice it up, but it's like that's like a little baby pro league right there.
Yeah.
Well, the voter's doing very badly.
Wait, did you see the vote?
So, of course, as expected, this vote went up and it did very badly, and no one really voted for it, and it got shut down, which kind of makes it even more embarrassing. Even Cutnoy said, not sure how serious of an idea this was, but it seems like it got shut down pretty quick. And it's just kind of like, at this point, it's embarrassing. Like, if it was a legitimate thought, you know, the fact that it was going through and then obviously everybody was against it just kind of makes it seem like, I don't know, it's just a little weird and a little like, I guess, awkward, I guess, at this point. Just something I wanted to make mention of and see what you guys thought. If you guys have any ideas about why this would be a good idea, definitely interested to hear your thoughts down below. But I just said at the end of the day, there's some teams that are in Pro League that don't have a real org or anything, and how could they actually afford it? Just kind of crazy to me. I would never want us to go back to like how Call of Duty did, where like basically if you don't have the money, you can't get better, because like with the league now, they're not really able to like, you know, constantly play against the top players. They have to play against the semi-pros. So how much better can you really get if you're not playing against the top players? And even like some of the people that are located in different areas, like even the South American regions and stuff for Apex, they can't play against the NA pros and get better, or the EU pros and get better. They have to keep playing the lower competition from the region that they are in, and it makes it harder to become a better team in that region. So same thing with Call of Duty. They did the same thing like with challengers and stuff. When you don't get to play those pros in the open brackets and stuff, or you don't get to go through and actually try to play against the pros in every single major, it's just kind of weird, because you never get that good competition that you need in order to challenge yourself, in order to get better as well. So imagine a Pro League team who's not even able to scrim because they can't afford to pay. It's just so crazy of an idea, in my personal opinion. Lastly, before we wrap up the video, I wanted to make mention of this. You guys may know, I'm sure you know Sabs over here from TSM and also Alpha Draft. So apparently she's the only like female in Pro League right now, and I think that's a pretty commendable accomplishment as well. And also they said that they're looking for one. Now I'm not really sure about the teams that she's playing for and like who was the original third to begin with, what happened, but basically they just said no hard feelings for our previous teammate, just his decision to focus on IRL. We're looking for a potentially for an IGL if the fit is right, but mostly interested in a fragger. So interesting stuff to see. And if you guys are following this, obviously I'm pretty sure you know more about it, but like I said, I'm not as familiar with this, especially because I'm still trying to learn a lot of things about ALGS and a lot of the teams and a lot of the players. There's so much more to keep up with than like Call of Duty that has like 48 pros, and that's all there is to it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below about all the topics in today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends esports related. Until the next time, I'll see you later, Gators.